Going to go ahead and go live with the match now. It is going to be Netcode Guides starting out on the CT side, as it is going to be JDM 64, Lucky, Cutler, Finesse, and Hayes. And then for Jumas, our Mediocre Gamers, it will be Shroud, Urakanji, Mediocre, dboorn, and Icy. And so let's see what's going to happen here in the first round. It looks like we are going to go ahead and see Jumas opening up by heading most of their players over here towards that B tunnels area. They're going to be 4 players strong there. Urakanji will be the solo man towards mid. Lucky, Hayes, and JDM all playing a very aggressive long A setup, but Jumas will be traversing B tunnels back towards maybe some type of mid to B split, or just pressing out mid altogether. Here does come that mid aggression. They are going to be running up to B now. Finesse and Cutler are both playing inside the B bomb site, and Finesse will go ahead and draw first split onto dboorn, trying to come through the window. Finesse looking for more here, as he is going to spot Mediocre trying to come through the door. Finesse flicking around with the one shot on the Urakanji and tunnels, but Mediocre begins to bring it back here for Jumas inside the site with that pick onto Finesse and company. Now we do see 3 CTs retaking through the B tunnels right now, trying to press into the side. JDM with one shot. We do see a pretty terrible situation here, but Shroud is trying to battle his way out of it. Oh, now in a 1 versus 2, was able to get 1 kill. 1 versus 1, and oh my goodness, Shroud just goes absolutely insane. What a roller coaster ride of a round. It starts out with Jumas having a great mid to B execution. It gets slightly shut down there by Finesse and company inside the B bomb site. And it goes back and forth at that point inside the site into a situation where Shroud is left in a 1 versus 3. And in the end, he's able to get all 3 of those frags and secure the round for Mediocre Gamers. So that was certainly a very back and forth round. Certainly never really was sure who was in the lead. But in the end, it was, in fact, Mediocre Gamers who did take the round. And so that is certainly going to help things out. But something that won't help Jumas out, or Mediocre Gamers, is the fact that Mediocre, as you can see, just disconnected. So it looks like Mediocre Gamers is going to have to play this round out 4 versus 5. They still do have 2 AKs and 2 Galils, so even with that 5th player gone, they still do have a lot of firepower, full head armor, and they're definitely pretty much geared. But do note that Netcode Gaming has invested a lot of money into this round. They went ahead and bought up head armor as well as upgraded pistols on all 5 of their players. So they definitely are looking to invest in this round. You know, normally CTs kind of have an option whether or not they want to just upgrade their pistols and not buy any armor and try to play kind of economical but still give yourself a chance to win the round maybe. But when you're buying head armor and such, you're definitely pretty much fully investing. As you can see, most of the players have either $0 or $50. So this is definitely a play that they're trying to make to win right here and right now. They're definitely going to have to eco if they are unable to come up with this, as we do see the terrorists trying to make their way into the B bomb site. Cutler going to be the first person to spot it out. Going to get nade stacked a little bit, but able to remain alive for now. Finesse is going to go ahead and peek out from the cubby area here, and he's going to be able to find 2 frags, so great job from Finesse so far. Cutler is now going to be coming in as well. He picks up 1 frag. He picks up a second. And Jumas, since they only had 4 players that round because of Mediocre's disconnect, the 2 frags from Cutler and Finesse will be enough to bring Netcode back early here. As you can see, they collected 2 AKs from the fallen terrorist. They went ahead and bought FAMASas on a couple of other players, and now all of a sudden it is Mediocre Gamers who are now on the back foot, so to speak, in this next round. See that the mic is too loud? Let me try to take care of that, folks. My apologies. I'll try to just sit back a little bit further here, as we are going to see Jumas trying to work their way outside of the double doors, but Hayes is going to be the first person to pick up a frag there. And so, so far the eco round for Jumas not quite amounting to anything. We're going to see a huge grenade come in from Cutler. That's going to take down Urakanji here. dboorn is able to pick up the kill onto Hayes. Icy trying to find one inside the window. Takes Cutler down to pretty low HP, but now they have to worry about JDM, who does have the op at the long crossing. He's going to miss his first shot, but his second shot will land, and that does get the bomb down. So, of course, Netcode Guides now certainly has the upper hand in this round, as Jumas is only left with 2 players. We see dboorn trying to work his way up to Cat. He does get the kill onto Lucky. He'll be able to collect that FAMAS, as it is now a 2 versus 3. But with dboorn having a FAMAS, it could get a little bit interesting here, as he's going to be coming against JDM, though, who does have the op on the A ramp. JDM misses a shot. dboorn does not. And all of a sudden, we have a 2 versus 2. dboorn starting to bring this back. He already has 3 frags in the round. If he finds 2 more, that could be the ace and the win. And it looks like Shroud actually has picked up the op from JDM. So all of a sudden, this round gets very scary for Netcode. They do still have the bomb down. But we do see dboorn spotting out Finesse here at mid, and to throw down some shots. Takes Finesse down to 82. Cutler only has 20, but with only 10 seconds left, and Cutler and Finesse playing safe with the bomb down, there's really not a whole lot that Jumas can do anymore. But I have to say that dboorn did make that round interesting with those frags. And at the very least, they were able to collect 2 guns to use in the next round, which certainly does help out their economic situation. So certainly not a waste of a round for Jumas. My video settings are fine, so if it looks shitty to you, then you need to change your quality options. That's the bottom line. It looks perfectly fine. I'm not going to argue with you guys anymore, though. Let's get into this next gun round here. Both teams are going to have an op. We have JDM64 with the op for Netcode. The op is going to be on Mediocre for Mediocre Gamers here. Waiting to see what Mediocre wants to do so far. They're just kind of spread out around mid in the catwalk area. One lower B. Shroud is the solo man outside long. Netcode playing kind of a dynamic setup. They have 2 mid, 1 B, and 2 A. JDM will go ahead and draw first blood here. Hayes looking for some as well. He'll be able to pick up 1. Looking for more. Able to get the bomb down. Trying to pull the 3rd kill, but Mediocre will come up with that and recollect it. No, never mind. The bomb's actually down here towards CT spawn, and Finesse is covering it. And once again, another 2 versus 2, just like last time. Difference is we do have AKs, at least for Mediocre Gamers. They do throw a smoke up on the cross, as we do see Shroud trying to make his way over towards A-ramp. He'll be able to dodge that grenade and meet up here with Mediocre towards the catwalk A platform area. But like I said, this bomb is down, and Finesse is just keeping his eye on it. We do have Cutler also trying to watch Finesse's back by trying to see if anybody is going to try to push down Cat into the doors and flank Finesse. So far, that's not the case. Shroud tries to make a vow for the bomb, does pick it up, takes it a little bit, but then gets caught right there again by Cutler. So now it's going to be up to Mediocre trying to see what he can do. But Finesse will be able to sniff him out there with the FAMAS. And now, all of a sudden, we see Netcode starting to take the lead a bit here with the score at 3-1. If you guys are saying that the stream is laggy, just try hitting that F5 button a few times to refresh what server you are viewing Twitch from. Or you can adjust the quality options as well now. So that would be kind of the 2 different ways if you're having some lag to try to fix that. I don't have any lag, and I'm watching the stream on another computer as well as my phone, and both are working perfectly fine. So, like I said, try refreshing the page a bit to see if you can catch onto a different Twitch server to view from. Otherwise, your internet is just poop, and there's nothing I can do about it. But let's get into this next round here. It is an eco round for Jumas. Just some pistols across the board. No head armor or grenades or anything like that. So definitely trying to be as economical as possible here, as they have let Netcode get back into the game, so to speak, early on. So far, looks like they definitely want to hit into B. Hayes and Cutler will be right outside the site, and Finesse will be behind the platform here. Finesse will go ahead and peek out spots. All these terrorists spilling in, able to pick up 1. Hayes also able to pick up 1. Cutler with 1. Hayes with the 2nd. And then Cutler follows up with his 2nd to end the round. So just an eco push by Mediocre outside the B tunnels there into the site, and they just easily get mowed down by the CTs that were in the area there. And so now Netcode going up 4-1, and this is actually huge because being up this good early on from CT side of DDoS 2 is certainly a very good position to be in. Usually you find more rounds on the T side for most teams. I mean, it's not always true, but most teams find more rounds on T side. So getting an early lead from CT is certainly very beneficial here for Netcode. As once again, Mediocre trying to go for a hit inside the B bomb site. Finesse has already dealt 1 blow. He's going to deal a 2nd. Cutler also with 1. Shroud trying to fight back, able to pick up 1, able to pick up 2, but now he's going to have to ace to win the round, as he is in a 1 versus 3. Bomb is down inside the bomb site. JDM and company waiting outside B to try to retake this at any given moment. Hayes also going to be there. Looks like Lucky's actually going to be probably flanking through tunnels. As you can see, he's waiting over here right at lower. So they pretty much have Shroud pinched off unless he goes T spawn. That's really the only route that he can take where he will not be spotted. He has a lot of time to play around with here as he starts edging his way into the site. Hayes and Hayes and JDM both kind of towards door here. Hayes is going to be the one spotting that door crossing, so Shroud's going to have to deliver this shot here as he does peek out. He does spot Hayes. Some shot is exchanged, but he is going to take the brunt of the damage thus far. Throws a nade, doing some damage here to Hayes, taking him down to 30, but Shroud now only has 8 HP. He's trying to make something out of this, but it's going to be difficult. He's going to jump up in the window, once again looking to maybe take a peek but Hayes is going to catch him as he's kind of jiggle peeking or shoulder peeking that window area, and so he will get taken down, and Netcode continues to extend their lead with the score now overall 5-1. So certainly looking pretty good here for the Netcode side. So let's move on now to round number 7. Juma's still able to buy at this point. They're on a maximum loss bonus, as you can see from losing all these rounds in a row. So they can buy up AKs all day until they win, basically, but they're getting shut down at long A. So B rushes did not work. Try to go for a super fast long A aggression. And as you can see, they are getting chopped down. Lucky picked up 2 frags. Hayes with 1. JDM with 1 as well. Urakanji now your last man standing for the T side. And JDM will make quick work of him with the op from Pit. And so another round goes to Netcode. Now, at this point, I'm not really sure what's going on, Mediocre Gamers. They seem to just be trying to, you know, rush really, really quickly on both ends of the map. So they've tried 2 B-tons rushes in a row, once on an eco, once with guns. In both situations, they were able to, or excuse me, Netcode was able to hold off the aggression with Finesse and other players in the area. And they just tried a long A there, and that didn't work either. And JDM going to be peeking mid, spots Mediocre for free, who was just kind of standing there. I'm not sure if he was setting up for some type of smoke grenade or something, but he got caught. Now, luckily, Shroud's able to catch JDM right back as he tried to get aggressive on the lower tons with his op after getting that initial pick. So that does help out Mediocre a little bit, and that'll help too as dboorn catches Cutler. So even though they had to kind of force buy Galils, they're still able to pick up frags, as they do actually have the one-man advantage at this point, 4 versus 3. So definitely not a half-bad situation here for Mediocre Gamers, as we do see Lucky, though, getting really aggressive on long A, but we see Shroud actually kind of sniffing this out. He's going to be peeking around this corner here momentarily, and we'll see if he can get the better of Lucky. It looks like he will. He does get dinked, but he'll collect the M4, and that's another man down here for Netcode. We do see Urakanji working his way up Cat just a bit, but he seems to be falling back. They're going to run into Finesse, who's watching these double doors. Finesse going to get dinked down to 14. Running back into B. There's 2 terrorists pressing in. He's going to try his best to get a frag, but Icy will be the one to get it instead. And now Hayes is pushed into a 1v4 here. He has plenty of HP on Catwalk, but he has to deal with Urakanji, who's waiting for him here on Cat with full HP. And Hayes is going to try to flick his way over and grab the frag. Does a lot of damage, but can't find it. And so finally, after a 6-round losing streak, we see Mediocre finally coming up the win. Only problem with this is, as you can see, they barely have any money. The only player that really has any kind of cash right now is Shroud at 3,600. But outside of that, if they were to lose this round, they would certainly have to eco the next. And at the same token, though, the CTs are in the same boat. They've been dropping players pretty heavily even when they win. So as you can see, they have low cash as well. They've only lost 1 round. So either way, whoever loses this round is going to have to eco. So this round is worth 2. So it could either be quickly 8-2 or quickly 6-4, depending on how this round goes here. As we are seeing Hayes and Cutler playing this type of double mid setup. We've actually seen this a lot from Netcode, while Finesse is kind of a solo B. He gets a quick rotate from Cutler, though, and just kind of 2A. So Hayes and JDM are always kind of floating around while they leave 1 dedicated at Pit, which has been lucky thus far. You see Cutler setting up for this pop flash. When they press out double doors, he'll throw that. It'll pop behind his back, and Cutler will be able to peek the doors here. As we do see Juma setting up. I think they're smoking all CT spawning. Here does come the push, but Hayes is going to step out, grabs the first frag. Here comes that pop flash from Cutler. As you can see, Icy's completely blinded by that. And actually, Shroud, I think, was maybe blinded a bit too, and he actually killed Icy, but Cutler dealt a lot of damage there. So as you can see, that pop flash from Cutler coming into play, as well as a great peek from Hayes from CT spawn, and that middle crossfire that we're seeing from the CT side as well as the B side of mid from this Netcode team has definitely been doing a great job of holding off the B aggression from Mediocre. So we are seeing kind of a broken buy here from Jumas. Irakanji has an AK, dboorn has a FAMAS, but everybody else is just on pistols, and they all have armor. So they definitely kind of went for broke here in this round, so they're going to have to eco if they lose this one, like a full eco, or maybe force Galils. It's going to be tough. Definitely won't be able to have any ops for quite some time unless they save. Once again, Lucky playing that solo long. JDM and Hayes kind of floating between A ramp and CT spawn. And we do have Cutler and Finesse playing inside B this time. Hayes going to get the kill onto Urakanji, but Juma's once again working their way up mid. We do have 2 inside the site, but both of them look to fall. Mediocre and Icy coming up huge there with the pistols, and Shroud will get the bomb plant, and now Lucky and Hayes have to try to play a 2 versus 3 retake. Lucky and Hayes both getting 1 frag apiece, so now Lucky in a 1 versus 2. Mediocre is going to have the op over towards B tunnel. Shroud going to be playing under the window. Shroud only has a pistol, but this op should come in from Mediocre, and it will. And so Lucky will fall, and Mediocre will finally find themselves another round. They're starting to fit rounds here and there in, but the problem is Netcode still has a very dominant lead. And so it's definitely still a very tough situation for Mediocre Gamers. Now, once again, we are seeing kind of a force buy out of Mediocre. I think we see a Galil, an M4 that Shroud was able to pick up. So they were able to win the round, which is why they're able to buy, but just barely. Just because of how many guns they lost in the process and how poor they were coming in. So like I said, dboorn having to use the Galil. Shroud kind of got saved by the fact that he was able to find an M4. And that's really kind of been the story here. As we do see, Mediocre was able to pick up Cutler's op. So most of the reason why they have guns this round is because they were able to pick up the falling guns from the CT side. But it looks like they're looking to go A. As you can see, they have definite long control at this point. Working their way up. We are going to see Lucky actually playing here at Car. He'll be able to pick up 1 frag, but dboorn and Mediocre trade right back. We do see Icy also making his way up the catwalk. He does know that there is 1 CT towards spawn. That's going to be hazed. In fact, all 3 CTs are trying to fire through this smoke here to see if they can get some spam damage done, but nothing really happening there. dboorn is going to go ahead and get that bomb plant on the A platform. And he and Shroud will be playing here on the A plat. Mediocre holding off long with the op, and the CTs are just going to save. As you can see, they really don't have a whole lot of money whatsoever. So saving these 3 guns is definitely a huge deal. They really need these guns to help try to contend in the next round. Maybe they can force drop JDM and Lucky to where they can all have guns, but there's certainly a possibility that those would only be FAMASas or something like that. So this is a great opportunity essentially for Mediocre to start closing the gap a little bit. Basically, this will be 7-4. Depending on how Netcode is able to buy, we may in fact see, I don't know. This could be a 5th round for Mediocre unless they can somehow drop some FAMASas here for Lucky and JDM. It's going to be tough, that's for sure. Looks like we're just going to see armor bought for Lucky and JDM. They're not going to get any rifles, so it is going to be 2 people with pistols for Netcode this round. But they still do have 3 riflers, so just depending on where Juma's hits and where Netcode positions the 3 guns that they have, there is definitely an advantage here for Juma's. As you can see, they're sending 2 of their pistols and 1 rifle at long for right now, and 1 of their rifles is inside B. So they decided to split up the guns that they have. But Mediocre is going to find Lucky immediately. Gets that free pick there for Mediocre. They are going to start working their way out long. JDM will be here with the 5.7. Able to get the bomb down. Picks up 1 frag, but the trade comes right back from Urakanji. The bomb will be recollected. And Jumas does have control of long, but they're starting to fall off and work their way back towards mid. Finesse and Hayes are actually here. Finesse going to throw a grenade. I think he does a little bit of damage there, not a whole lot, and he'll rotate back inside the B bomb site. That is definitely where the bomb is headed, so Finesse is definitely making the right call here to get back inside B to try to worry about any type of aggression through the tunnels, which is exactly what's coming his way. Hayes is just that mid, and Cutler's just watching to make sure that they don't come back up long. So Urakanji is going to be kind of the key playmaker here. If he can drop down and get a kill on Cutler, that'll force Hayes to pay attention to A, and then Finesse will be basically in a 1 versus 3. So this is kind of how things are lined up at this point in time. Mediocre trying to take peeks inside B. Not seeing anything just yet. Hayes actually now trying to close in up lower tunnels, but he turns his back and just in time for Icy to deliver some free bullets and eventually the frag. And now Jumas is now going to work their way up Cat. They only had 20 seconds. They got to move fast, but they're going to throw down some spam down onto Hayes at the door. Excuse me, that's Cutler. And Cutler will get taken down. Finesse trying to fight back from B. Picks up 1 frag on Urakanji. But Icy is going to be here to cut off the rotate at the double doors. Can Finesse make this play? No, he pulls his knife out, and Icy was just waiting for him at the doors, and he gets the frag, and now Mediocre starting to close that gap a little bit. 7-5 scoreline. So we started out in what appeared to be a pretty dominant first half by Netcode. At one point, the score was 6-1 from their CT side, so certainly looking very powerful. But as you can see, over the course of the last 3 rounds, Jumas has definitely stepped their game up here, or Mediocre Gamers, whatever you'd like to call them, and that has really put them back in the game. If they can win out this half, there's still certainly a chance for victory here for them. but they need to definitely try to take the lead here and now. We'll see if they can do that as the CTs are on an eco, so a great opportunity for an early 6th round here for Mediocre Gamers, as they already do get that pick up the catwalk as they work their way into A. Cutler trying to rotate through CT spawn, going to get caught by dboorn. We do have one CT at long trying to hold off as well. It's going to be JDM up against Shroud. He will find Shroud. He picks up the M4, so this is definitely huge, but Lucky takes so much damage, and that nade is perfect. We'll take out one of the players there, and so now it is JDM all alone trying to see what he can do at mid, but Mediocre and company were completely on point there. And so Mediocre now winning 4 rounds in a row, looking to tie this game up at 7-all here shortly. Like I said, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, please hit that follow button. I'd really appreciate it. I cast on this channel Monday through Thursday nights, and that is Central Standard Time, usually starting around 9 or 10 Central Standard Time here in the U.S. So for the Europeans, that would be, I guess, around, I don't know, 4 or 5 a.m. your time, Monday through Thursday on this channel. So definitely check that out if you enjoy the casting. Like I said, I do it every weekday night, so please come on back and follow up and support the channel if you don't mind. But let's get back into the game here. 7-6 scoreline. Mediocre trying to tie the game back up. They haven't been able to do that since round number 3, basically. It's been an uphill battle for them, but here recently they've done well. But we do have an even gun situation. Op on Mediocre, Op as well on JDM, who's playing aggressive on the Cat. We see Finesse playing aggressive here on B. Tunnel's going to spot out Icy, but Icy will deliver the frag. And so B is actually kind of vulnerable right now. But it is going to be a long A hit from Jumas instead. We'll see if JDM and company can hold it off. JDM and Hayes doing a great job so far holding off this aggression. JDM looking for more. Going to miss the shot on Mediocre. Shroud's going to take him out. And so we are going to see Jumas successfully starting to take this A bomb site. Cutler now forced to play a 1 versus 3 as Mediocre is on the brink of tying this game up at 7 apiece and maybe making a close game out of this. We see Cutler trying to do a miracle spam, but of course no one there on the other end. And at this point we are going to see Cutler just maybe try to get some exit frags, which is going to permit Mediocre to grab another round and move into a tie game with 7 rounds for both sides here. So they've done a great job to make a good comeback. I mean, they lost 6 rounds in a row. That was definitely tough. But they've been able to claw their way back in the game with 5 rounds in a row of their own. So we're going to see if Cutler can get this exit frag on Shroud. We'll be able to get the frag down. Picks up a free grenade as well. No one's going to be able to catch Cutler, so we'll be able to hold on to that gun. That is definitely good news for Netcode because a lot of them are pretty poor. I'm not sure if Go TV crashed or if we have a pause. I'm not getting a warning disconnect, so I don't really know. I'll just try to connect really fast back. Do apologize for that. Not really sure why the Go TV froze on me there. Well, hopefully I'll get back in really quickly. Don't freak out that you saw the IP in console, by the way. It's a public Go TV, so you could find it anywhere, basically. Definitely not a secret server or anything like that. Looks like I got back in. Looks like it is, in fact, a pause from what I can tell. So we'll just have to wait it out. While we're waiting, once again, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Definitely a lot of viewers tonight. Really appreciate it. Of course, shout out to CSGO Lounge for adding this new element to esports, this betting that really has increased viewership across CSGO for all the streams. And so it's really awesome to see CSGO Lounge supporting esports through giving people another investment into watching the streams. So I appreciate all of you who are tuning in. Like I said, I do cast on here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday every night. I'm casting on this channel, like I said, around 9 or 10 Central Time in the U.S. or 4 or 5 a.m. Central European Time. So definitely, I guess that's Central European Summertime, CEST. Like I said, 4 or 5 a.m. for you guys in CEST, and then Central Standard Time around 9 or 10 and at night every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Also, sometimes in the afternoons on weekdays, I do interviews with some of the pro players, especially from North America. So, like, for instance, earlier this afternoon, So like around 11 p.m. Central European time, and then around 5:30 p.m. my time, I interviewed Steel from iBuyPower. And I have all kinds of different interviews that I've done over the past couple of months between the iBuyPower guys and the Complexity guys and stuff like that. So that's something else you can check out if you follow up. I know you guys say you want to watch the game and you don't want to hear me cast. Well, then go watch it somewhere else. Sorry about all them switching scenes, guys, but we're back. As the game has been paused, it's not me that's causing this to happen. The game was apparently paused at some point, and so I'm waiting for the game to unpause. So I am not controlling this, guys. I would much rather get straight back into the game, just as you would like to see me go straight back into the game, but I kind of have to wait it out here. I will actually try to interview European players. For those of you who are saying that in chat, it's just a little bit harder because of the time zone difference. But I will in the future try to get some European guys on the show. And I appreciate all the compliments I'm getting from some of the other people. There's definitely a mixture of hate and positive messages from the chat, and I appreciate the positive for sure. And I see that I got some donations. I'll get to those donations at the end of the game and thank those people. If you do donate, which I'm not asking you to, but if you do, I would really appreciate it if you put what your Twitch name was inside the message that you send when you send the donation, because that's going to allow me to, you know, put your name on my donators list so that I can recognize you guys and thank you guys properly. So that's kind of the deal on that. But like I said, I am apologizing to you guys that we're not seeing a match right now, but it is a pause, and unfortunately there's just not a whole lot I can do about that. Just kind of have to wait it out. And it looks like I was nearing 4,000 viewers, which is actually some of the most viewers I've ever had on this channel ever. So definitely a big shout out to you guys. Like I said, big shout out to Go Lounge, because I think that's probably where the bulk of the viewers are coming from. That's for sure. Yeah, I know some of the people who've been listening, the only reason why I'm watching this is because I don't see us Go Lounge. And that's perfectly understandable, and that's why I definitely give my thanks to Go Lounge for helping expose some of us casters out here that are trying our best. I've been casting for years, and I started this solo channel that you're watching right now a few weeks ago. I have been casting for various companies for quite some time, and I decided to start my own solo project a few weeks ago, and it's definitely been an awesome experience at the very least. But like I said, just waiting for this game to unpause. That's what we're waiting on here. Yeah, even without Go Lounge, I usually get like 600 to 1,000. But yeah, Go Lounge, as you can see, tripling or even almost quadrupling my viewer count. So definitely awesome stuff from the Go Lounge folks. Why don't I thank ESEA? I've thanked ESEA quite a lot. It's just I only work with ESEA about 1 day a week right now. Like I said, I cast on this channel Monday through Thursdays, but on Sundays I cast on the ESEA channel. So you can check that out at twitch.tv/ESEA. And I don't really feel like I have to mention ESEA a lot because it's obvious I'm casting ESEA and it's all over the graphic right there below. So it's pretty evident where I come from and such. It looks like we finally are seeing the match getting unpaused, so finally we get to get back to the game, which I know is what all you folks are looking for. So we are going to see the score, of course, 7-7. Mediocre Gamers has made quite the comeback here in the past few rounds to close the gap and tie the game back up. But who will win the last round? Who will have the lead going into the second half? These are the questions that are left to be answered here in this first half, as we are going to see Jumas really look for some huge cat aggression to start things off here. We are going to see Hayes, the primary defender here, coming from CT spawn, looking for frags, finding one on Urakanji. Lucky making the rotation from long, able to find a frag for himself as well. So between Hayes and Lucky, they have done a great job holding off this cat aggression. Can Shroud and Mediocre try to fight back? We'll see Hayes working his way back up to see if he can deliver any more damage. He does spot Shroud, does a lot of damage, gets the headshot onto Shroud. Mediocre now left alone, and Hayes just going off right there. 4 frags, I believe that was for him that round. And just in general, he's done such a great job for this Netcode team all season long, which is actually a really crazy story because for those of you who didn't know, Hayes, the starter here for Netcode, actually never played CSGO competitively before this season where he's been playing with Netcode. Now, he did have a lot of 1.6 experience in North America, so he was definitely very good at CS in general, just, you know, coming from the North American 1.6 era. But he had never played CSGO competitively until this season, and he's done a fantastic job in his rookie season, so to speak, here in CSGO. So not only was it his first season in the pro division, but his first season just in general in CSGO. So definitely crazy stuff. Let's get into this first pistol round to see if Netcode can keep the lead or if Mediocre can fight right back to tie things up. They are going to see Netcode looking like they want to aggress long. They're going to throw that smoke that drops into CT spawn. They are going to go ahead and start making this cross up to long. Hayes grabbing one pistol frag. Hayes with a second one. JDM also coming up with one, so the terrorists are getting the better of this so far. Lucky is going to find yet another frag there, and so Shroud left in a 1 versus 3. Does see that both two terrorists are towards this A-bomb site, either on ramp or inside the platform. He's going to get flanked, though. A great flashbang coming in from the 2 terrorists on the site allows Cutler a very easy flank, and so Netcode is going to start extending the lead here, making the overall score 9-7. So Netcode starting to try to pull ahead a little bit here. Let's get on to this next round here. Score is 9-7. Jumas, of course, going ahead and buying up as much as they can. Deagle and upgraded pistols across the board. Also fully armored out. So they definitely are going for it right here, right now. Not saving for the third round. So definitely a loss here would mean a complete eco and a great opportunity for Netcode to go up 11-7. As Netcode pretty spread out, but now they're starting to gather up over here at the B tunnel, so it looks like we are going to see some B aggression. Mediocre does have the Deagle over there with Icy, and Mediocre's been known to throw down some pretty crazy Deagle shots at times, so I'm just going to kind of keep my eye on him because I've seen him do some crazy stuff with the Deag. But today will not be that day, as he is going to get taken down. We are going to see Icy try to hold off the best that he can, but Cutler will take care of that. And so Netcode does have pretty much complete control here of this B bomb site. CT still trying to retake through the door. Irakanchi stepping in, grabs one frag, tries to collect that AK, but gets caught by Hayes. And your last man standing is Shroud, who will eventually get taken down by Finesse. And so Netcode already up 10-7. But with Mediocre buying up pretty heavily there in that second round with head armor and upgraded pistols, they're definitely on a full eco on this round, which means a great opportunity for Netcode to press it to an 11-7 scoreline. We're going to see what the terrorists want to do here. They pretty much have free reign at this point. Juma's pretty much giving up on A, working a lot of their players towards mid and towards B. We do see a lot of terrorists in this mid area. Lucky and Cutler all looking for kills here, and they're going to find them very easily, taking really no damage yet from the Juma side. Lucky going to go ahead and come in here, grab a kill onto Urakanji. There's one CT left. Did Lucky not see him? Okay, that was weird. If I was Lucky, I totally would have seen that guy, but apparently he wasn't paying attention. But still comes up with the frag anyway in the end, so no harm, no foul there from Netcode. They continue to build up on their lead. Score is now 11-7, so certainly looking in pretty good control, especially out there on T side. If this is the side that they favor, then they are going to be in a very comfy position. Usually do see most rounds coming on the T side, so I suspect that things are looking up for Netcode at this point. We do see Netcode trying to get a little bit aggressive at long here, but Juma's Shroud and Urakanji able to hold it off for now. No ops on the CT side, but there is an op on JDM. Cutler trying to play a solo play through the smoke at mid. He's going to get caught by Miniker. Icy and Urakanji now also in the area. Going to trade some kills that time. Miniker looking to come in for more. Finds a kill. Urakanji with one as well. And so JDM going to be the last man standing here with an op. 1 versus 4. Trying to make his way into B. 1 CT at door. 1 CT at window. Misses the shot on the door player. Throws a nade, trying to find something. Nice flick shot on the Urakanji. Another nice shot on the Miniker. And JDM is making this round interesting, ladies and gentlemen. But he has to worry about this B tunnels flank. He seems to be aware of it. He's trying to edge his way around the corner. dboorn's right here onto his left. Can he land this frag as well? Another great kill from JDM. And now it's just going to be Shroud who's going to try to defend. Shroud does have a full 100. But JDM has plenty of time to play around with. And he's had 3 great frags already. With 10 HP. JDM is looking to try to extend the lead here for Netcode. Shroud looking to try to hold off what would be an embarrassing round here for Mediocre Gamers, who were in complete control with the 1 versus 4 and have let that slowly but surely slip away into what is quite an intense 1 versus 1 here as JDM is making his way to the site. He's running out of time, though. It's about to be to a situation where he may be forced to plant. He's trying to work his way out the door. He's going to run to the shot right now. Can he deliver the frag? No, he misses the shot, and Shroud's able to span through, and Shroud coming up huge there for Mediocre. He really saved the day for that team. Had he have messed it up there and JDM had been able to get that frag, that would have been quite the slap in the face to Mediocre Gamers, so definitely a good play there by Shroud to kind of bail his team out of an awful situation. As we still do have a pretty even buy across the board, except Icy and dboorn are going to have the FAMASs, so that is a little bit of a disadvantage here for the Mediocre Gamer side. We are going to see Netcode fully geared up. AKs across the board. JDM does still have the op here. Looks like they are trying to work their way into B. Yet again, there is 1 defender inside the site. That's going to be Icy. Urakanji is going to be waiting outside. Icy will actually run out of B and try to help a crossfire at mid with Urakanji, but Cutler will be able to deliver the first frag. Urakanji trades, but B is completely open now, so Netcode will spill in. Smoke off the doors, flashing their way over to get into a safe bomb planting position here at the B bomb site. The plant will occur. We do see Hayes trying to cut off rotations through B tunnels. And it looks like the CTs aren't looking to try to retake here. dboorn's going to look for exits with Urakanji, but they're definitely saving their guns. So Netcode will move up to a 12-8 scoreline. So with Netcode now extending the lead to 12-8, definitely in a very comfortable position here, but there's certainly still a chance for Jumas to try to fight back. They do have some firepower this round, especially in Miniker, who does have that ops. That's certainly a gun that could turn the tides here, but JDM has definitely been on point with his own. So it will be tough here. We do see some smokes at long A. Lucky going to find Shroud through the gap with a nice headshot there. That's already starting off things on a positive note here for Netcode, as we are going to see Jumas, dboorn, and company over here at A trying to recover. Urakanji and Miniker have a bit of a crossfire. 1 on the A plat, 1 on car, and dboorn not too far behind. And Miniker is going to land a beautiful shot onto JDM. That's actually going to even it back up to a 4 versus 4, but we see Netcode now falling off of long. Urakanji is going to note this as he presses through. He gets all the information that he needs to know that Netcode is now looking for a new spot to entry at, and it looks like Netcode's really looking to go lower tunnels and mid. Cutler trying to work his way out mid with the bomb. Gets caught by dboorn. That's bombed down. That's really a risky play from Cutler to try to work mid by himself with the bomb. It gives the CT such a huge advantage, and definitely a little bit of a mistake there. It forces Lucky and Hayes to try to make a play out of it, Hayes able to get 1 kill. That's going to be it. And so now Finesse is alone, trying to come through B, able to deal a little bit of damage here, trying to flash his way out, trying to see if he can find anything at all. Mediocre will deliver the op frag, and that'll be the end of that. But like I said, I really think Cutler just kind of made a little bit of a mistake there, a little bit of a mental error to be trying to play out the double doors by himself with the bomb with no real backup. So if he would have gotten the frag, then yeah, it would have been great. But it's a risky play. He got caught, and with that bomb down like that, it really helped out Mediocre win the round. And sorry for my pronunciation of Mediocre. I'm Southern United States. That accent though too strong sometimes. But we see Urakanji making a very aggressive play on lower B, and this could open things up really nicely for Mediocre Gamers as they will go ahead and grab that first frag. Urakanji now shifting gears back towards mid, finding a second frag. Urakanji finding a third, looking for more, pulls out the pistol, but finally taken down by Hayes. But definitely a great individual play there by Urakanji to pick up those 3 frags. It's certainly a step in the right direction for MG here to work their way back into the game. 12-9 is certainly a close score, so they can find a round here. They will be well on their way to tying the game up soon. We see Lucky trying to make an individual play outside the smoke. He has the ump. Ump will not say her out. Instead, it is safe for IC as he'll get the frag. dboorn picks up 1 as well to end it. And so it will now be 12-10 in favor of Netcode. Starting to shape up to be a close game yet again. There are definitely points and times where Netcode has seemed to have a huge advantage, but it seems like Jumas or Mediocre Gamers, whatever you'd like to call them, have been able at the right time to find a way to close the gap and keep the game interesting. As Mediocre playing aggressive on Cat, going to find an opening pick onto Hayes. So Juma's having the last couple of rounds been making these individual aggressive plays that have opened up really good things for them. It looks like Netcode's responding pretty well so far to that last one, though. Lucky has been able to already grab a frag. Cutler through the door takes out Urakanji. And so we are seeing Netcode once again with the man advantage. dboorn and Lucky going to battle it out here at long, but dboorn will get the better end of that deal. And so Netcode once again finds themselves at a disadvantage in this round. It's a 3 versus 3, but Cutler has very low HP. But the only Icy is at B. dboorn now working his way through CT spawn to help rotate. So Netcode could get a B execution here, especially if Finesse can sniff out Icy. He's checking everything except the double stack, which is where Icy is. He finally will spot him, delivering the kill. But dboorn caught JDM in that process, so still a 2-on-2, and Finesse and Cutler have such low HP. Cutler going to get blinded there, but able to deliver the frag onto dboorn. So it is now a 1 versus 1. A little bit of a failed flash there from Cutler. He has 25 seconds left, trying to make his way in, but he's actually going to press for the kill, which he might catch Mediocre off guard with this. Mediocre may be thinking that Cutler's still inside the site trying to plant, so Cutler has a great opportunity to maybe get a surprise frag on Mediocre. But Cutler is forced to go back in and plant as the time ticks away. Mediocre never peaked, so definitely going to help out. Cutler not going to get blinded there, but he's in a tough spot with low HP. Can he win this 1 versus 1? It'd be a chance for Netcode to extend the lead, a chance for Mediocre Gamers to close the gap even more, and it will be Dreamers closing the gap. Our Mediocre Gamers, it's so confusing with this tag, but either way, they do secure the round there, making that score 12-10, and certainly a very close game on our hands at this point. So we got Sean Gears and Hiko in the house from Complexity. Shout out to those folks for checking out the game tonight. Appreciate you. As we are going to have an eco round here for Netcode. Pistols across the board, no armor, so just trying to give themselves a fighting chance. You can kind of do this on T side. If you want to eco, you can still buy upgraded pistols. It doesn't hurt you that much. And they could make something happen here as Cutler and Lucky have already come up with frags, so it was definitely worth the investment so far. They've been able to pick up an M4 there for Hayes, who has definitely been impressive this game for Netcode. He is the top fragger right now at 21 and 14, so definitely not a bad pair of hands to have an M4 in if you're Netcode, as they are trying to make their way inside the beat bomb site. Lucky will lead the charge. There is one CT in the area behind the big box, but it's going to be Icy. Is going to be made quick work of there by Lucky, so Netcode once again finding control of this beat bomb site. We do see dboorn trying to peek the window, trying to make a play here, but it looks like we will inevitably see a bomb plant from Netcode at some point in the near future, and there does come the plant, but Shroud and company looking to try to retake still to 2 versus 3, and Cutler's low on HP, so it's not going to be impossible. dboorn and Shroud already coming up with 1 frag, and Shroud is going to save the day for Jumas. We saved the day earlier with the 1v1 against JDM, and coming in with the frag here, able to help his team tie up the game at 12-all. So that was definitely, once again, a very back and forth round. Each round I'm seeing Netcode successfully execute sites. It just seems when it comes down to the 2v2s and the 1v1s, the retakes of Mediocre Gamers has been overpowering them. And that's really been kind of the story of most of this second half. So with that being said, we have a tie game for the first time since round number 3. Just to give you a little stat there. So we'll see who can take the advantage. Both teams fully geared out, so it doesn't get much closer than this. This is a great opportunity for both teams to try to take the lead back. We are seeing Netcode gearing up to work their way up. Cat, Urakanji, and Icy both playing outside B, so they're giving that up and playing a retake on it and just focusing on the mid. Meanwhile, we do have dboorn in position here at long with Mediocre, and Shroud is kind of the solo player that's going to have to worry about this cat aggression. But, oh my goodness, it was crazy. They almost lined up for Mediocre to get a 2-for-1, but in the end, he only gets 1 frag out of that, and JDM trades right back. But JDM has no idea that there's a CT right behind him, and dboorn is going to go ahead and get the free frag off of that. Icy also coming up with 1, so now a 2 versus 1 that Cutler must try to win for Netcode. He does have the bomb, and he's at the A site, so he should be able to get the plant. But Icy is going to be in CT spawn, and there is 1 CT coming catwall. But Cutler actually just going for the frag. He catches Icy turning its back to the flash, so a great play there. But he has to worry about dboorn, who's waiting at the double doors, and he'll run straight into him. And dboorn will take the headshot and take the lead back from Mediocre Gamers. Now a 13-12 situation. A very, very close game indeed. Very back and forth. But the CTs have been on a roll, as you can see, winning the last 5 rounds in a row. So certainly an impressive play here from MG to keep it close and take the lead back. But where do we go from here? That is the question, as Netcode still able to buy. Once again, they're looking to go long. JDM and Lucky trying to pick this corner here. I do see dboorn actually getting very aggressive in the B tunnels and able to grab a very nice headshot on the Cutler. That's actually temporarily the bomb down. He's looking for more, and he finds Hayes at the Xbox. And so Juma's fighting really hard here on the CT side to try to take this game, as the bomb is still down on Xbox. Finesse trying to contest and get this bomb back, able to pick up 1 frag, but Mediocre trades right back and keeps the advantage for Jumas. 3 versus 2 here. Bomb still down on the Xbox. Lucky trying to press his way up. Cat Icy's going to be waiting here in the lower tons. He has a crossfire set up here with Mediocre at the green box mid, and Urakanji is also making his way around, but actually pressing into long, so maybe he's going to try to flank JDM and Lucky, who are coming Cat. Icy just kind of peeking, making sure that bomb's still on Xbox. Definitely a flank coming in here from Urakanji, but JDM sniffs this out, and he will deliver the frag. So now a 2 versus 2, and we'll see who can get the better of this here, as Lucky is trying to spot Icy. He does spot him. He knows that he's there now, but Mediocre is still going to be playing at the pole. He's going to deliver some shots here into Lucky. He gets the frag, but he has very low HP, and JDM with the op goes huge that round at 3K. We saw him catch Urakanji on the flank, and then he turns around and catches the kills onto Icy and company there towards mid and lower B. So definitely playing some great trades with his teammate there on Cat. And because of that, he will come up with the round, and he ties it back up now, 13-all. And this is a tough situation because, as you can see, Jumas is now on an eco round. So this is going to give Netcode a great opportunity to now take the advantage back and press it to a 14-13 scoreline. As Jumas, though, coming up with the opening frag at long A, actually, but Hayes is quick to fight right back with the AK. JDM going to find an op shot at mid. JDM probably going to find a second one here, and he will. And so Finesse takes down Urakanji, and Netcode slides back into the lead, 14-13. It's kind of to be expected, though, since Mediocre Gamers was definitely on an eco, so not surprising that we saw Netcode take the lead back there. But now it's back to a grudge match. We have both teams geared out, with the exception of a couple of FAMASas on the CT side, so that gives a slight disadvantage. But definitely still enough firepower here for Jumas to try to press this back to a tie, 14-all. But once again, Netcode does have that slight advantage, which could help them get to game point. So we are seeing Netcode gearing up to go towards B so far, as they did throw a little bit of fire at mid and Cat, but the bomb is in tunnels, and the majority of Netcode is playing this tunnels area. So this could either be a mid to B split, could just be a straight up B rush, or they could fake B and work their way up cat. I mean, there's so many options on this map when you have control of this level of mid, as well as the B-tons. Looks like we are going to see Cutler throwing some smokes and flashes here at the double doors. Irakanji spamming to fight back, and it will be a B-tons press. And we do have great positioning by Mediocre. They have one in the site, one at the door, a second one in the door coming in as well. And so the frags are definitely favoring the CT side so far. Cutler saving the day, though. Look at that pair of quick frags there for Cutler. It's now a 1 versus 2, and it's a manageable one. He does have the bomb right there next to him, has plenty of time to play with on the clock. So I would not count Cutler out in this 1 versus 2. Definitely a great couple of frags there to open up what was a 1 versus 4. Just waiting to see what Cutler wants to do. Looks like he's thinking about, I'm not really sure, to be honest. Looks like he is maybe trying to cross into the site now to plant, from what I can tell. And we will see the CTs retake through door and window as a fake plant. Cutler was trying to force a peek, but Juma's not going to give it. This time they will. Shot's just going to run in, spraying his FAMAS. He'll get the headshot on the Cutler. And now we go to a 14-all game. And in all honesty, folks, I would not be the least bit surprised if we're going to see an overtime out of this, because it has definitely been back and forth these last few rounds. We've seen both teams win 2 apiece in the last 4. So it's definitely turning into this ping pong match, so to speak, where each team's getting a hit in, one right after the other. Both teams still geared out for the most part, so we'll see what will happen. Netcode trying to aggress their way out long yet again. They've had mixed results here, but this time they do actually force the CTs back. They don't get a frag, but they do get control of the pit and long. But look at this rotation. 4 players here from Juma's waiting for this A execution. And it looks like we're going to... Oh, I thought we had another pause, but it looks like it was just a little bit of lag, so we're back at it already. As we do see Netcode definitely getting their way into pit, but it looks like they're falling off and going back towards mid. Now, Jumas has relocated a little bit here. We see 2 already rotating back towards the B side. JDM still has that op inside pit. So it looks like they maybe want to work their way up cat and work some type of late A split. Shroud will be trying to fend off this cat. He is going to spot some terrorists here, trying to throw down some fire with the FAMAS, but he is going to get caught, but there's still an op on the A site, and that is going to be Mediocre. Mediocre is trying to spot out JDM, does get the frag on the long player, but now he needs to hold off this cat aggression. So far doing a great job, gets a second frag for himself, looking for more, finds a third one with the headshot onto Finesse, and Mediocre is just unloading with this op, making a great play. Hayes now in a 1 versus 2. Mediocre going to go ahead and pick up the FAMAS. Hayes going to be battling out with dboorn, and dboorn will get the better of it. But definitely Mediocre making the great plays with the op. They're taking out JDM at long and then following it up with 2 kills from the cat push. And that was, like I said, just a great play by Mediocre. And now Mediocre Gamers is at game point, so we'll either see a win for Mediocre in the closest fashion possible, or we will see an overtime. So it doesn't get much closer than this. In fact, it doesn't get closer than this. This is as close as you can get at this point in time. So you guys definitely tuned into a real treat tonight, I think. And I figured this game would be close, and so far I'm right. But Juma's opening up already with 2 great frags. Mediocre with another headshot there with the op, and it's looking like it is going to be a win for Mediocre, 16-14, unless JDM and Cutler can try to make a miracle happen. But Irakanji will be the dream crusher in that situation. And so that will be the end of that. GG. 16-14 win for Mediocre Gamers. Now, just give me a second. I'm going to have to switch scenes, which will probably cut out my mic for a little bit, because when I switch scenes, my mic kind of cuts out. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to see if I can't get an interview here from one of the players from Mediocre Gamers, which is the team that we saw win. So I'm going to see if I can't maybe get one of those guys in here. So definitely just kind of stay tuned here for a second as I try to sort that out, if you guys are interested. If not, like I said, please follow up. I'll definitely appreciate your follow. I do cast on this channel, as I said, Monday through Thursday at around this time. So if you want to support CSGO, support my channel, like I said, hit that follow button. You can also catch me on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Dust Moret, or you can click the links at the bottom of the page, or I can type this command here in chat, and that will give you the links as well. So I appreciate all the support, and I hope you guys will follow up. But just give me a quick second to do a scene transition here, Like I said, the mic will cut out for a second probably, and I'll see if I can't get a post-game interview. So what is up, guys? Like I said, I had to change scenes, and Mike may have cut out there a little bit, but hopefully it's back already. But I'm trying to see if I can't get somebody here from the Mediocre Gamers team to kind of do a little bit of a post-game interview. That's what I always kind of try to do. So that's what I'm going to shoot for here. So give me just a second. So I try to contact some of those guys and see if one of them wants to step in here and do an interview. If not, then I'll just chat with you guys a bit. But for the record, I was right. Mediocre won. So if you listen to my advice for your bet, then you were not disappointed. At least I don't think you were. Unless you didn't want to win. In which case, maybe you are disappointed. But that's really weird. So I'm kind of looking through some of my Twitch PMs. Got a Twitch PM from Rabbi. I just want to cheer you up since a lot of people are giving you some crap on stream tonight. All I can say is I enjoyed it a lot. Good commentary, good quality. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Rabbi or Rabbi. Not really sure. R4BB1. Appreciate you. Another comment there from Young Sasquatch who said, great casting. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for supporting the channel and giving me the kind words. Apparently, there was a lot of banning that had to take place. Shout out to Spangler and some other mods who are taking care of a lot of the spam. Appreciate that very much there from the mods. Looks like I am going to have a player coming in here from the Mediocre Gamers to do a post-game interview. So cool stuff. So just hold on as I get that player some mumble information so that we can do that.
This is...
Ooh.
This...
Sorry, I had to get my mumble set up real quick. So just give me a second here as I get folks in the channel. Those of you who are wanting to watch the Reliable Gaming versus Ronin 5 match, by the way, I think CSGO Lounge already has that stream embedded on the betting page for you guys, or at least it should be. But I can tell you that it's actually over at twitch.tv/GoRGNTV. So that's GoRGNTV. And that is where you can catch the matchups and Reliable Gaming. I'll even post a link in chat to make it even easier. If you go over there, just say Love from Dust or something like that, so that way they know I sent you that way, so they can know that I am supporting their channel, because they are another channel out there that's doing a great job supporting North American esports by casting stuff. Ah. Shit. Looks like I'm going to be talking to dboorn. Hello there, Mr. dboorn.
How we doing?
How's it going, bro?
Not too bad.
So, another solid win for Mediocre Gamers tonight. How you feeling?
Define solid. That's not what that was.
Okay, it definitely wasn't solid. You're right, but I was trying to make you feel better about it.
I'm a realist here. We can talk.
So what happened? Why was it so close?
That's just some of the grossest Team CS we've played in like an extremely long time.
It just, I mean, I was really surprised how much you guys struggled on your T side. I figured, I mean, at one point, I think they were up 6-1, and I was kind of worried about you guys a little bit. I actually had predicted you guys to win in my like little pregame talk, but they went up 6-1 from their CT side, and all of a sudden, I had to start second guessing myself on my theories of what was going to happen.
Yeah, early on we just missed like a few flashes here in strats, and like people kind of just lollygagging around and forgetting certain things. And then towards the end of the half, we kind of just simplified things, take long, get mini cur and big pit, and go from there. And it seemed to work a lot better for us.
So how has like preparation and practice gone for you guys lately? I know I was talking to Irakanji like last time I casted one of your matches, I think, and he kind of discussed that you guys are having a rough time because of the roster situation and stuff like that, but it seems like you guys are pretty stable now. So how has practice and prep gone for you guys over the past few weeks?
Well, yeah, just up until recently it's been all right, but as far as like this entire season, collectively it's just been a disaster. Between like getting different fists and then having to delay matches because Mediocre's out of town. So it's just like, well, first of all, our team is terrible on certain maps that we haven't played initially, and like we'll just get raped a few times before we actually get a hang of it. So the problem now is we're juggling multiple maps, trying to get good at all of them, and we're just decent at every single map. So when we play good teams, it's just not good.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that you guys played some scrims against iBuyPower, I guess, and then one scrim you like totally annihilated them, and then in another scrim you guys got completely annihilated. And so yeah, I guess I kind of get your point there. But the fact of the matter is that you guys have won your last 6 matches in a row, and by all means, it seems like you guys are in playoff contention. I mean, how do you feel about your chances of making LAN at this point?
Well, we have now 2 big matches. So we have the U5 remake, then we had this match, and we have Ronin 5 on Sunday. So in my perspective, as long as we won 1 out of 3, we're still kind of good for playoffs. But if we win 2 out of 3, then we should be set. So we're off to a good start, hopefully.
Right on. So obviously, Shroud is the new pickup for your team. Some people know him as Eclipse. He's definitely one of the more consistent streamers for CSGO. So a lot of people recognize him from that and kind of hype him up. How do you think he's kind of gelled with your team so far this season? It seems like, statistically speaking, he hasn't been as strong as he was like last season when he played in main. But, I mean, how do you guys feel about how he's molding into the team, so to speak?
Well, our team initially, coming from last season to this season, we were just missing like a fragger. We don't have any like really strong fraggers. I guess Mediocre is, but the rest of us are kind of like, we play 2 proper FCS. So he just brought like Shroud obviously has like really sick raw talent. So we were kind of hoping to at least be able to mold them, because like we can teach how to play CS and game sense, etc. But you can't teach just like raw talent from that perspective. But how he fits into our team, I think we're still getting used to him as much as he's getting used to us. So it's just kind of like a mutual thing there.
So, I mean, what's your projection? I mean, do you think in time he'll be able to kind of get back to some of the more dominant stats that he's had in the past? Or do you think that maybe he's just like a different role player than he used to be? Or, I mean, how do you guys use him compared to how he was used on past teams, do you think?
I didn't really follow his past teams. I know he played for Exire and then obviously Exertus, but I think my team plays a different breed of CS than those teams and more of like a proper CS. So I think like when someone joins a team and they're kind of just like plugged into a role, it's going to take them a while to get used to how they want to play and how the team wants to play, and just even like personality based. Like I'm a big like chemistry person. Like I think roles and chemistry are huge in CS and they almost overcome talent. So I think once we get like a chemistry down for our team, then like we'll be able to see like the talent shine there.
So with that being said, I mean, do you feel pretty confident in your roster going forward, or do you feel like there's a fear that another change might need to be made to make you guys even more successful than you are, or how comfortable are you guys right now?
No, we're over the roster changes for sure. We just need to get some maps down and be able to start playing some proper CS.
So with that being said, I mean, you guys look to be in good shape to make LAN. I mean, how comfortable are you going to LAN with some of these players on your team that don't have a whole lot of LAN experience?
To be honest, I don't expect us to do anything at the LAN, but it'd be a good experience. I think most American teams will get like slaughtered by the Euros right now, other than maybe iBuyPower. It's just all these roster changes now, and people are just like getting new teams and having to re-go over maps and stuff. It just like hurts chemistry, and like obviously with CEVO and ESEA going on, you have to play multiple maps and just try to like get decent at them. And then the Euros, obviously not many roster changes there, and they're just playing, you know, their same maps they've been playing all along.
Right on. So I mean, so you're basically saying that even if you make it to LAN, you don't suspect that you'll be able to do very well. I mean, what about against the other North American teams? I mean, I know you kind of mentioned you think the Euros will probably slaughter most of the North Americans, but I mean, how do you guys favor yourselves like domestically at this point?
Well, domestically, I think we'll do all right. I mean, iBet Power obviously has a skill advantage over most teams, and then obviously when Steel's back in the States, they'll go hard practice-wise, which will make them nearly unstoppable in terms of NACS. But outside of iBet Power, I think we can at least compete domestically, but against the Euros, I don't think that, because we have no experience versus Euros right now. Like, even like Irakanji and I, we have LAN experience, but it's in a different game, so it's almost irrelevant at this point.
Right. So I mean, with that being said, you kind of mentioned that you think iBuy Power will be okay, but I mean, I've been talking about this a lot, and so I think I've almost kind of beat this point to death. But I kind of keep asking people's opinions because I'm curious what the community thinks. And Complexity is definitely struggling right now with 4 losses. They're about to play iBuy Power. That could easily be a 5th loss. So at that point, they're really maybe 1 loss away from potentially not making the event. At that point. Do you think this is like a legitimate concern to have, that Cole might not be able to make it to this event?
It seems like they always start out slow in ESEA, and I mean, they've played 2 season matches. They've historically been really poor team at season, and they've had to play iBet Power, obviously, so I don't think they're too concerned with where they're at, as long as they're going to put in the time to get better. But I think their goals should shift from 1 or 2 seed to more 3 or 4 seed, which obviously sucks, but I mean, their goal at this point should just be to make the LAN. But I mean, they're a team that's always like banked on preparation, like boot camps before LANs, etc. So as far as them slacking online, I don't know if that'll improve. But I mean, it's up to them. Obviously, if they want to make the LAN, they'll put in the time, and it'd be a shame to see them not there.
Yeah, I definitely would have to agree with you on that one. I was kind of talking to Steele about this. I interviewed him earlier today, and it just seems like iBuy Power has been adjusting to the roster changes a lot better than Complexity has. I mean, do you agree with that for one? And depending on your answer on that, why do you think it's the case?
Initially, when I saw just the swap Anger and Swag, I didn't think one team would benefit that much from it. I mean, they obviously, like, you know, one team might end up better out of the swap, but I didn't think it was going to be that drastic. But I've always thought that Daze wasn't like a true leader. He's more of like a mid-game and like an adjustment strat caller. So letting Steel, or they might even have AZK calling it, I think it's Steel for now, and letting Daze just kind of make plays and not have to babysit the rest of them, I think it benefits them a lot. And then now Skadoodle's opping, and I don't think he's missed a shot since their team's been made, so that probably helps as well.
All right. So with that being said, I mean, what can we expect with you guys going forward? I mean, you guys are going to be playing, like you said, next against Ronins, who have been really dominant online. I think right now they're actually playing Reliable. I'm not sure what the results of that are at this point. I think the match is still actually ongoing. But the point I'm trying to make is that they have definitely been dominant. It looks like the Reliable is actually beating them 15-11, though. So maybe we're going to see a win there from Reliable against Ronins, which will be huge. But I mean, are you worried about this team based on how you've seen them playing online so far? Because I think right now they're actually the #1 seed. So they've seemed powerful so far in online play.
Yeah, I had them as a lock to the LAN. Not to bash on Mozbek, but any team he's on is kind of like a bank for a LAN spot, as long as it's top 4. And the weird thing about Mozbek is that, I mean, everyone's obviously going to harp on Mozbek, but he doesn't play like an online style of CS. Like, he plays within the team, and he doesn't hit like insane shots or play like overly aggressive. But I think at some point you would hope it would translate for his sake.
I mean, do you think it ever will? Or because I've heard so many different mixed opinions. Like, some people straight up think that the dude cheats. Like Warden, for example, and I'm not calling him out. He's been vocal about this on like people's streams, where he really just fully thinks that Mozbek definitely was. Whereas other people are a little bit more hesitant to like make a conclusion out of it. So, is there a legitimate concern that people should have, or is it bullshit? What do you think?
Well, I'm still curious what players Warden thinks is legit. I think the ratio is more he thinks people cheat than they're actually legit. So I'm not too worried about that. But I don't think he cheats. I don't think anyone really top level CS cheats. Obviously, the Hitman thing is kind of skeptical, but I don't ever worry about someone cheating. It's more of just like people being online. And I think when people see others call people online, they kind of perceive that as they're cheating. But it has nothing to do with that. Like, he just really comfortable at home and his setup and stuff like that. And a lot of people are like that. It's not just him. I mean, the LAN setting can be overwhelming at first, and I think he might eventually, you know, be the same player on LAN, but I know. We'll see.
All right, so with that being said, do you have any last comments or shout-outs that you'd like to throw down before I let you go so you can get back with your team?
We have no sponsor currently, so it's just a shout-out to everyone that's supporting us and following us and keeping up with our team. That'll be it for us.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming in here, and have a good one, and good luck.
All right, thanks a lot.